Um, Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon. And by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation. Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I am your host, Justin D. Morgan, and apparently OBS added a go live button, or I forgot about it since Tuesday, one or the other. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I've been live, or so I thought, for the past 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and you never guess, Patrick Stewart stopped by. I mean, it was amazing. And then Neil Patrick Harris, he stopped by, and we just had a great old time for 15 minutes, and then, yeah, you all probably aren't buying that story. I could prove it by uploading the entire thing I've recorded. I was working on the board, and people are like, where's Justin? What time zone is he in? What black hole is he in? And the funny thing is, YouTube Studio was showing me that I was live. OBS was showing me that Comcast was being mean. And yeah, no, you actually, if anything, the only thing that I've had tonight is the, I can't fix my webcam, Trina. I don't know. I had to go back to the cheap webcam, which washes me out because the Logitech webcam kept not connecting, so yeah, I'm not happy with Logitech. But yeah, I thought I was live. I thought I was streaming. YouTube was telling me your stream's bit rate is low, and OBS kept tanking my bit rate like Comcast doesn't like me and wants more money, and yeah. And then finally, some of the chatter in the chat made me realize that, wait a minute, have I accidentally stopped streaming? Because actually, earlier today, I was in a meeting and somehow managed to accidentally mute myself, despite not thinking I had touched my keyboard or mouse. So I'm like, okay, did I manage to accidentally stop broadcasting by not touching anything? Anyways, well, first I need a new streaming computer, Ryan. All right, so let me try to go back through the chat again and say hi to everyone. I am sure I'm going to miss people because the chat is quite long, but we have Thomas Armstrong, Jack68K, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda, Frank S., SadMac356, Francois, Trina's Technobabble, Micro Hobbyists Retro Homebrew Computers, Mac 84 Steve, Sad Mac 356. Actually, there's so many people here. I'm saying hi to people multiple times. We have Garth Beagle, Eric Rangel, Gut Bomb, and see people commenting on how late I am, even though I was a little late. Oh, myself's in the chat. Let's see here. Yep, everything is broken, Garage. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. We have Steve wanting to get a snack. So Steve completely missed my snack order, but then I admitted that the cookie would be stale and the coconut milk would be warm by the time I got here. We have Jesse. We have a long chat to scroll through to make sure I don't forget anyone. Da 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 da. All right, well, if I missed you, I apologize. The chat is really long. All right. I even had a webcam suggestion. Well, anyways, I've got a new coffee goal thanks to my streaming computer being really mean to me and, like, acting like it's failing more and more each stream. So, well, there you can check that out for me to get a new Z440. And, yes, people are asking, did I find what I was looking for? Yes, you even missed my explanation of how I put that in the chat that I was looking for something very important. And then as soon as I hit enter, I saw it to my right. It was like right there. What I was looking for was the 2CI logic board that I actually started to work on. So you even missed me forgetting to turn on my multimeter. And I don't know why I'm admitting to things like this. Oh, hey, Retro Techie, it's not fixed yet. Apparently my stream was even broken. All right, Gut Bomb got his AT motherboard standoff, so I'm glad to hear that. Gut Bomb is also, I believe, the person with the second most number of my channel cards, because I send those out. When I send you something, I usually send you a channel card so you can give some away. And then his daughter was scanning all the QR codes because she was hoping to get Rickrolled. So I Discorded Gut Bomb a Rickroll QR code, and apparently that went over about as well as I should have expected it would. Oh, hey, Bruce. Bruce is here. All right. Anyways. So now that I see that, okay, Comcast is being mean to me right now. Maybe I should probably... All right. Of course, maybe it's not Comcast. Maybe it's my computer. Anyways, I am going to attempt to back my bitrate off slightly. Just because I don't think that's going to help anything. All right. So, tonight I am working on the 2CI logic board that Garth sent me. And so I've got the... Garth removed the surface mount capacitors. Luckily, I have a cap kit on hand. And I was in the process of looking for broken traces on the board. So now that I think I've got everything actually working, we will join the search for broken traces already in progress. So sorry about that. Anyways, oh, well, the fact that my multimeter is complaining that it's been on for minutes is probably telling you everything you need to know about how embarrassed I was to figure out that I was actually not live. Also, I have been trying to find my Dremel because even though I realized I'd misplaced the 2CI logic board until I chatted about that, I apparently put my Dremel somewhere really creative. And I actually kind of need that. So, all right. So I'm hoping I don't figure out that is the mystery item that I knocked off my bench the other day. Alright, hold please. Let me go make sure I didn't, no, okay. I have no idea what I did with it. That's really weird. Okay, I don't know where my Dremel is. It should be, like, right here. So, yeah, you're looking at this board. It's lovely. It's green. It's bugging me that I did something with the Dremel. Because I pulled out the knife to remove solder mask because I couldn't find my Dremel. And now it's really bugging me what I did with it. Alright. Yeah, Garth found this on the free pile at VCF Midwest and apparently decided he was not interested in this as much as he thought I would be. Or something like that. 2CI board should be green, just not there. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Well, my Dremel should be probably anywhere but where I'm going to end up finding it. Alright. I mean, sure, I'm probably going to end up giving up looking for it, and we'll just have to... Alright, let me see if I got anything better than a scalpel. Well, my fiberglass pen is... Oh, I found it. It's exactly where the Dremel is supposed to go when I'm done using it. Just the only problem is I stacked up a whole bunch of stuff on top of the top of my toolbox. Therefore, I didn't realize that's where it was. So, yes, for once I put my Dremel back where it belongs. There we go. Now, I get to move everything back on top of the toolbox because I don't have room for it on my desk. Alright. Sometimes when you can't find the tool and think that you couldn't have possibly put it back where it belongs, maybe you did. Oh, Garth says he's, I'm lazy. I already have 2 restored 2CI, so I didn't need this one. Well, I do appreciate it, Garth, because at the moment I have 0 restored 2CI. Alright, so I am going to... If I need a... Oh yeah, blame the housekeeper. Alright. Housekeeper has been blamed. Alright. So anyways, that... Unfortunately, the waviness is... Because the shock mount the camera's on is not very good. Alright, I'm pretty sure this trace here is broken. Yep, that appears to be broken, but I should be able to fix that. I may need to remove these caps. That looks fine. Oh, let's see, I don't think those were broken. Yeah, there's layers of gunk. It probably, quite honestly, there's so much gunk there. It would probably behoove me to do the following. Alright. We'll zoom in. And I'm pretty sure that if this board could choose what drink it wanted, it would probably pick something fancy like scotch or bourbon, but, well, it's going to get isopropyl, because Mac IIci says, I'd strongly suggest a multimeter and a scalpel instead of a power tool. Well, I will duly note your suggestion and have no one to blame but myself if I mess up and burn through traces. I do have an ultrasonic cleaner. This board will go through it after I repair it. It will not go through it before I repair it because it would not be clean and dry in time for the stream to end. The isopropyl alcohol will suffice for trying to get the electrolyte off the board so I can see through it. Also, I'm copying what Necroware does, and he usually uses these rubber tip tools to get the corrosion off. I appreciate your translation, Trina. I was having trouble with my scalpel. It was going too slow, and I was afraid I was actually causing more damage than good with the scalpel. Therefore, I went to a more dangerous tool, naturally. All right. Good night, Retro Techie. All right, so now that I have gotten the now that I have fooled myself into thinking that I've gotten all the green gunk off the board, because I probably haven't actually gotten all the green gunk off the board. But maybe... Oh, there is a Wild Joe has appeared in the chat. Yeah, I think there's still green gunk on the board. Also, the shock mount this camera is on is, like, really, really awful. And you too can enjoy the trippy, scrubby toothbrush action thanks to rolling shutters. Rolling shutters on every, probably, camera since, I don't know when. Since they removed the actual shutters. Yeah, that'll go through the ultrasonic cleaner. There we go. One green meanie gone. Yeah. Joe was reverse engineering the character generator because of course he was. I would ask how many hours of sleep he got last night and how long he stayed up messing with the character generator, but I'm going to be nice and not ask. Oh, wait. Maybe I did just ask, though. You don't have to answer that, Joe. That is quite the neat character generator you have, Joe. It definitely is something that many of us remember growing up, having those in, I guess, on public access stations and even in schools and businesses and whatnot. All right, trying to get my bearings of where I was with the trace analysis. So here's the soft power circuit. It does look like, interestingly enough, that is yeah, now I've got the scalpel out. Do I trust myself with it? Not entirely. Alright, I am pretty sure that is a trace break right there. Might be one I can bridge with solder, but I'm pretty sure that is a break. And I'm pretty sure there was a... Alright, I'm actually... That looks like a break there. Alright, I will go to the scalpel here because it's way too close to that chip. Actually, nope, that was just a bad solder mask. Okay, that'll go over with solder because it's not broken, but it's thin. It's a receding copper trace. Okay, somewhere here there was a trace. Oh, I think it's this one right here. I think this one is the broken trace. Because it definitely looks... Although, maybe not. Maybe it's... I'll measure it with the multimeter. I'm trying to let it... Oh. Ryan says that copper trace is like my hairline. Well, now, I didn't necessarily need you to out your hairline. Although... Oh, also... I just realized I have a can of air and it's missing the sprayer nozzle. Because I accidentally broke the sprayer nozzle. Hold please while I... dig through the trash can for the other can of air that I emptied out. And then... Oh, it's not in the trash can. It's on the floor. Why did I put it on the floor? There we go. All right. Oh, you can't... Oh, Oh, hold please. Okay, that might be better. I forgot. Last stream, I was testing hard drives, and people were like, well, we can't hear the hard drives doing what you're saying it's doing, so I turned off all the filters in OBS. Is that better, Steve, when I turn my head? Because now I think I've got the filter so that it should be probably... otherwise, I don't know. I try to... Steve says, I only misplace things for entertainment purposes. Oh, I misplace things because I'm a klutz. Well, that's a grade A broken trace there. Can you hear me now, Steve? Yep, that's a broken trace. All right. Also, I think there's crud on my multimeter tips. There we go. Okay, so that trace needs to be repaired. Yeah, I think this one is okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. That one's good. I think... So this one, I believe, is just thin. Okay. I got one to repair so far. Let me see if I can see any others that... So that's the one I need to repair. I thought there was another tracer too that looked... yeah. Okay, I may very well have to remove this through-hole cap. But there we go. I knew there was at least another trace that looked suspect. Okay. I think this trace is... Well, it's at least not broken that I can see, but it's running under the cap. Actually, that's pretty high resistance, so I'm probably going to have to... Well, either I still have some solder mask on top of it, or I'm going to have to repair it. Because it was measuring like 9 ohms. Okay, let me get these caps off because I need to check under them. Actually, I'll go ahead and remove all 4 of these axial through-hole caps because The audio circuit also probably needs to be checked. Now, while we wait for Claris to warm up, I am at least pleased to report that the battery does not appear to have forgotten how to battery. So hopefully this chip here is fine on this board, because this is what did in the last 2CI I tried to repair. This chip ended up being dead. And you're probably asking, well, if I couldn't get it to chime or anything, how do I know that chip was dead? Well, this chip was pulling down the signal from the oscillator to something that was unusable, and the oscillator goes straight to this chip. So you can... That's how I pretty much figured that chip was the problem, because it was distorting the clock signal, a clock signal that goes directly to it. The traces on that other board were 0 ohms, so it was not a trace break. It was, in fact, actually... just for reference, because this board looks good here. So actually, it's those, I believe it's those two traces right there are the two traces from the oscillator. They go straight into the chip. All right. Oh. Oh. All right. Let me get my new camera mount out of the way. I think the soldering... Yep. Claris has warmed up. So let's get these through-hole capacitors off the board. If I can remember... Okay, why... Oh, there they are. Here we go. All right. So I have Claris set to 650 degrees. And I'm probably going to quickly realize that either that's not warm enough or I need to add some solder first. There we go. All right. Thinking that the solder has oxidized. Oh, or it could just be there's a huge ground plane here. And I think that's one of them. This board repair is being brought to us by the smell of fish. Steve's probably like, well, if that's what fish smells like, I don't want to eat it. I don't ever want to eat it. Well, it's kind of more like rancid fish, but still. Oh, hey Stan. Yes, Claris came out to play. All right. Claris especially likes working on Macintosh boards for obvious reasons. All right. Ah, all right. Well, I got 1 out of 6 pins desoldered. Lovely. Believe it or not, it was actually the ground terminal of one of them. All right, I'm going to add solder and try again. Actually, maybe I should use some low melt solder. Okay, I'll give it one more go with this solder, and then if it doesn't work, I'll switch to low melt. All right. Joe says I was making noise when he said low melt solder, and I thought I heard low melt butter. Well, if the low melt solder doesn't work, then maybe I'll have to go to low melt butter. Though Fishy 2CI board's not really a taste combination I want. Alright. Let's see. Joe says low melt butter, aka canola oil. Okay. I'm gonna break out the low melt solder, and if that doesn't work, I'll break out the blowtorch. Oh wait, that's for stuck on bolts. Never mind. I mean, I'm pretty sure the cap would come off if I hit it with a blowtorch, but so would the rest of the board. All right. There's my chip. Quick. Steve says the plumbers asked me if I was into computers. I just said yes. Yes, I was going to ask Steve if he installed the hot water heater himself. or if he hired a plumber, but I'm pretty sure New Jersey is one of those states that probably requires a plumber to do it, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan, I got Ryan's attention. He said, "Did someone say gas axe?" Yeah, I probably did. Oh, Steve says if I installed it myself, I wouldn't get the 1,000+ rebate. Well, okay, well, that would be another valid reason to not install it yourself. Yeah, Jesse says you won't have a board left, but the cap will be off. Yes, so if you work on cars and you work on computers, and don't follow the if the bolt is stuck instructions to get a cap off that won't come off, you'll be having a sad day. I mean, you can try the if a cap won't come off instructions on a bolt. I just don't think they'll be very useful. Oh. Oh, as Steve says, plus the previous electric work done was sketchy at best. Glad I called an electrician. I don't mess with 240 volts. All right, one's out. Oh, Ryan says, for my next live stream, I will recap a board with a map gas torch, and we will see what happens. And I accept no responsibility for anything bad that happens. I will also let you take the credit for whatever good happens. Ryan, I would recommend if you're going to try recapping with a gas map torch, trying first with something that doesn't matter as much on, such as like a Dell Optiplex 780. I think there's plenty of those in the world. I mean, it may not need recapping, but after you take the gas map torch to it to remove the caps, it probably will need recapping. I'm sure there's some Dell Optiplex enthusiasts Facebook group that's probably mad at me now for suggesting you recap a Dell Optiplex 780 with a gas map torch. Right, it says one of the many Pentium 4 OEM beige boxes I have in the garage will be a perfect candidate. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure someday, far in the future, they might be collectible items, but I think there were just so many of those Dell Optiplexes that. All right. Alright, let me... This one cap is just not wanting to budge. Alright. Jesse says there was an Optiplex 745 on every street corner at one point. Yeah. Probably IT departments full of them because they were so many of them, no one wanted them on trade-in. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got the one sides of the caps off. I'm thinking these ones should just... There we go. And... There we go. And the caps are out, so now I can check under the... Check under where they were. All right. And while I've got the everything warmed up to do it, let me get this last one out over by the audio section. And I think I'm just going to go straight to low melt. In fact, I already have the one lead out. And there we go. All right, Ryan's asking, is his LC475 battery bombed? 50-50 guess. Actually, I could, actually, let's do this, Ryan. If you'll, hold on a minute or two. I am going to do something for you here. Assuming I can, here we go. I'm going to start a poll for you, Ryan. Is Ryan's LC475 battery bombed? Yes and no. All right. So vote now. So hopefully Ryan will at least wait a few minutes for folks to engage with the poll. If anyone out there thinks that someone removed the battery, well, that would obviously be an answer of no. All right, looks like we have 8 votes. We got 8 viewers and 8 votes. Well, I'll check the results here in a moment. All right. So it looks like we have everyone has voted. And we have 9 people that voted, and 8 people say yes, and 1 person says no, and I'm going to go for no. So I guess 8 yeses and 2 nos. I'm going to go with the minority. Isn't that what the movie Minority Report's about? Oh, and Trina says yes. So I guess you have 9 yeses and 2 nos. All right, we will know. Ryan has posted the photo on Discord. So hold on. I'm going to take a look at the... Oh, must be Joe's Discord. I don't know which Discord he left it in. Well, I don't know where he left it. Gutbomb, I do see your message, and I'll send the shipping cost your way as soon as I have a moment. Remind me if I forget. I don't know what. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now that I got the through-hole caps off, so I'm looking at the board. Yeah, when I have time, yeah. Which, when I have time, I'll honestly, given how late I sometimes stream, it'll probably be tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll all right, so I'm gonna check this trace here, the little trace that's running parallel with the silk screen. I think it's just the silk screen's obscuring it, but I think it's fine. I mean, I'll take a quick gander. Actually, I think I'm gonna take a gander at that under the microscope. I mean, I'll pan over it all, but that looks like I want to look at that closer. This warrants me scrubbing it because that looks green. Overall, though, I think this is good. This here, I need to look at because that looks weird. Looks like the board got scratched, so I'm definitely going to look at that. Totally random. I need to look at that because I don't think that has anything to do with electrolyte leakage. And now that I've got these caps off, I do need to look at this trace that was running right here that went under the cap right at the edge that looked like there might be a break. So I need to look at that. And I guess I should probably check where I desoldered that cap just to make sure I didn't do any collateral damage. Yeah. Oh, Ryan just tagged me in it, so very good. So now all I got to do is look for the mention. Oh, it's not battery bombed. Oh, but yeah, the electrolyte is bad on that one. That doesn't look like it's in too bad of a shape, Ryan. Although that TDK power supply is probably it's going to need recapped. Um, TDK should have probably just made cassette tapes. Okay. Well, let me I guess I'm gonna scrub the board here real quick. Just get, because I got that one spot where there's something on the board that that's obstructing my view. I might as well get the scunge or grunge or gunge or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I think every one of those LC TDK power supplies I've gotten, honestly, I think when I've gotten them, the caps were like actively leaking, and there was fresh electrolyte on the board. All right, I'll look at that under the microscope, but it does look like I scrubbed off something. Yeah, unfortunately those 68040s are those are getting expensive because everyone wants to upgrade their LC040 to an 040. I think I paid like $50 for my 040, and that was like last year. Actually, with shipping, I might have been closer to 60. Possibly even 70 now that I think about it. Yeah, it was definitely a bit up there in price, but it was the only 040 Mac I had, so I was like, well, I wanted to have the full 040 in it because, after all, it's the nice compact LC form factor. They don't take up much shelf space. Of course, I think the LCO40s are kind of getting crazy expensive these days too, because I guess everyone has figured out how practical of a Mac they are. If you want to have a nice compact 040, the LC475 is not a bad choice. I guess I can't blame them, honestly. Ryan says he picked up this 475, a 2SI, and two LC2s in one lot. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have as much. I mean, I've got a couple LC2s because they're like fairly easy to get, but I guess my problem with them is the only thing they give you over a LC is an 030 processor, but they're 10 megabyte limited, which I get it. It was Apple's low cost computer. I think they were targeting them largely towards schools, which wanted a low cost computer that they could afford to fill a computer lab with. And a lot of educational software would run comfortably in 10 megabytes of memory, but they were probably one of the Macs that aged quicker than others just because 10 megabytes was all you could put in it. Yeah, they make good lab computers for film and TV shoots set in the 90s. Yeah. The LC2, Garth's got a point. The LC2 is the perfect LC to put an Apple IIe card in. Yeah. Although, if you missed my stream from Tuesday, I've got the perfect LC board to put my Apple IIe board on. Other than the fact that I think my bodge is actually probably too tall for the Apple IIe board to go in, but oh well. Alright. I think I do see another potential broken trace here. I just wanted to get some of this electrolyte off the board so I could see a bit more clearly and could probe with the multimeter a little more clearly. Trina says 10 megabytes is all you need. Well, maybe for DOS, but System 7 kind of wants just a little bit more. Although, at least with the 68030, you can run Open Transport. Even though I'm fairly sure I figured out that the 68030 limitation on Open Transport wasn't... I don't think it's because it won't run on an O20. It's probably because Apple wanted to sell you a new computer. Oh, well, then again, maybe it does need to be able to page memory. I don't know. Okay, so one area that I see that is a little bit of concern, I'm trying to move my isopropyl alcohol to a spot on my workbench where I think that there's no way I can knock it over, but I'll still probably manage to knock it over somehow. This pad here looks a bit suspect. I guess let me go to magnification. It might be fine. Oh, it just... Okay, maybe I'm just seeing the bare copper. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm just seeing the... where it was removed. Yep, there's definitely a connection there. Alright. Let me see. The next area of the board that I wanted to look at was... there. And... can't tell what that... Oh, maybe that's just an abrasion on the solder mask. Okay. Okay, maybe I should at least... Let me just check that. Yeah, it looks a bit suspect there, so let me... Okay. Take a look at that now. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. Okay. Oh, hey, Retro Tech or Die. I am on the hunt for broken traces. This board will get ultrasonically cleaned after I'm done with it, because, ew, gross. Alright, the next spot I wanted to look at was... Let's see here. Slowly moving that way for dramatic effect, and so you can see all the green gunk on the board. Warning, the gunk on this board may contain greenness, which may interfere with your ability to eat dinner. Eater discretion is advised. Also, you don't want to eat this. Zero out of 5 dentists recommend using the green gunk that looks like toothpaste as toothpaste. However, 4 out of those 5 dentists will gladly recommend the item they're being paid for. The 5th was out of the office golfing when the representative stopped by and could not be paid for a recommendation. Or I guess it would more accurately be, the 5th could not be paid for a recommendation by the time the commercial had to be shot. Just like all the news stories you read, where you read far enough down and it says, such and such could not be reached by press time. Well, yeah, when you email someone 2 minutes before the press deadline, yeah, they probably can't be reached before press time, but I digress. Well, unless I am completely overlooking trace damage, I think there's only the one broken trace on this board. Although, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that there's no way I could... Oh. Fun fact. According to my multimeter, my stainless steel workbench surface is electrically conductive. Also, fun fact. I knew that anyways. My multimeter did not have to tell me. The thing is, I could put... my ultrasonic cleaner is big enough. I could put this whole board in and clean it before the live stream ends. However, the problem would be it would still be wet, and there's no way I could dry it fast enough to then do anything with it. I mean, even if mine was small enough, I had to do it in 2 passes per side. I think the drying time would still be slower. I'm thinking that it might just be that one broken trace. Plus the one couple that I need to just reinforce with some solder because the traces look thin. I'm just looking over the board. Oh, well. Oh, hey, Adam. Well, you missed me forgetting to hit the go live button, which for some reason had completely forgotten about, although like I hit start stream or I don't know, maybe I installed an OBS update or something. That was weird. But anyways, I've gone over the board. I was looking for broken traces. Garth had already removed the surface mount cap. So anyways, I had to remove the through hole ones. And I was just about to fix the one broken trace and like one thin trace that I found. And then I guess I think I'm going to have to put caps on the board before I'm going to be able to test it, because I highly doubt that this board would be able to do anything with no caps on it. I mean, maybe I could get away with trying to power it up with... Alright, so that's the broken trace here. I mean, I could probably... I suspect it might work if I had, like, some caps on it, but... Alright, good night, Trina. And... Alright, so... Let me see if I can't... good night, micro hobbyist. Alright. Let me see if I can just maybe... fix this trace by... solder bridge? Nope. Looks like I might actually... I probably will have to attach a small wire, but... Let me see if that managed to do anything, though. Okay. Okay. Nope. There's still that little break there. I wonder if I can, let me see if I can, looks small enough that I think if I can get the solder to stick, I can... Nope. Okay. Little wire it is. Alright, let me see if I can, Okay, I got one idea here. Maybe if I remove the flux, but let me see here. I think that'd be fairly easy to... Okay, so that pad is connected. Yep, the brake... Okay. Let me... try to find my enameled wire. Should be somewhere close by. After all, it was the rock star of my Macintosh Iici repair. Good night, Frederick. All right. Apparently my enameled wire is shy and it doesn't want to repair anything tonight. Probably means I've knocked it off my bench. And haven't noticed that it's on the floor yet. Okay, I will instead use something else. If I don't find it here in... Well, I think I need to clean my workbench off again because apparently my cleaning job that I did a couple weeks ago has already negated itself. Oh, hold on. Not something off to a place that I... Right. Trying to find my enameled wire. No, I did not knock it off my workbench. Oh. Fine. Okay, well, in good news, I just found a tube of Chip Quick that I had forgotten that I bought, so I was thinking I was running low on Chip Quick, even though it seemed like an awfully short amount of time since I ordered it last. Well, I found the tube. So hopefully I will remember not to actually order the Chip Quick that's in my Amazon cart. Or at least not rush out and order it right away thinking I'm very low. I mean, I will order it sooner rather than later. Alright, I'm still trying to find the enameled wire because I don't think I got any component leads that are the right size for this repair. Huh. All my things run away when I need them. And then when I stop looking for them and go on to something else, I find them. And this silly song is not helping me find the object. But it's helping me not lose my sanity. Yeah, Bruce is right. The Chip Quick doesn't really have a smell. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that it doesn't have a smell of its own. But it is a bad thing that if you're working on something that's really fishy smelling, there's no tutti fruity cotton candy scent to distract your mind from rancid fish. But honestly, I think I'm happier with the Chip Quick than I am the new Amtech stuff. I think I like the Chip Quick better. Now, there are Amtechs that I like. I'm not a fan of the V3. It just doesn't work as well for me. I like the Chip Quick better than the V3. I think though I like the 213. Although I still might give the slight edge to the Chip Quick. And that's because if I really, really got into a pinch, and believe me, I would have to get into a pinch to want to do it, but I could drive up to Fairfax and go to Micro Center and get a tube. Now, granted, hopefully I'm not in such a pinch that I have to do that during rush hour traffic, but I could drive up to Micro Center and get the Chip Quick, because they usually have it in stock. Also, Amazon also usually has it in stock, and if I can wait 2 days, I can get it from Amazon. And I don't have to contend with DC area rush hour traffic. But that being said, if I was working on something and it had to be done, and I could get to Micro Center before they closed, I could go get a tube of the Chip Quick if I was really had to. And I'm still looking for my enameled wire that has run away. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, I am not saying that the Amtech is bad flux. I mean, the Amtech is pretty good. I'm just saying that I started using the Chip Quick, and it's what I've been using lately. Alright. Okay, I do not know what I did with my enameled wire. As I previously alluded to, I will move on to use something else, and then I will find the enameled wire, like, shortly thereafter. Oh, here it is. It was hiding behind a box of floppy disks. I found it, see? Or I'll almost move on to something else and then find it. Alright, so what I am going to do, I'm going to take a short piece of the enameled wire, and I'm going to try to melt the enamel off. And while I do that, I'm going to smell fish, because there is apparently electrolyte oxidized solder on the end of my soldering tip, which I believe before the next live stream that I solder, I am going to have to get a new soldering tip for this iron, whether I want to or not. Because I am looking at the tip, and it's looking kind of gnarly. Alright, well, I haven't decided what... I haven't totally committed to what live streams I'm doing next week, but, the fact that my tip for my FX888D station is on its last legs might sway what I work on next week. Oh, that's right. I've got the microscope on. So anyways, assuming I don't, like, actually melt anything while I'm trying to show it. Alright, let me see if I can take a look at the soldering iron. Oh, well, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Oh, and actually it's kind of cool. So not only can you see it kind of shaking because of my hand, but you can kind of also see it slightly wavy. You can see the heat radiating off of it. I don't know, the very end of that tip kind of doesn't look that great. Gutbomb says, I have a jug of MG Chemicals liquid flux. I did not like that. Yeah, I'm not crazy over the MG Chemicals flux. Alright, let me see if I can't... Oh. I cracked my keyboard drawer somehow. Well, I guess I will have to get another keyboard drawer soon. So, does the plastic keyboard drawer I bought so that I had a keyboard drawer on this bench, does it stand up to the abuses of a Justin? The answer is no. No, it does not. It does not pass the Justin test. Tune in next time when I will probably inevitably break something else that I didn't mean to, and will also declare that no, it does not pass the Justin test. Alright, I do not know which one it... I'm trying to clear out the via for that pad. Because I want to kind of run the wire through it. I'm having trouble figuring out where it is. Oh, I bet it's actually... I bet it's actually that one right there. Oh, and you can't see me working on it because I got the camera in there. Actually, not a through hole via. That's a solder pad. Oh, interesting. Okay, then it must be this one here. That looks like a through hole via. Oh, and you still can't see what I'm doing because I'm on the wrong camera. Oh, well, I'm on the right camera view, but I can't, I'm having trouble finding where I am on the board. Let me just go to table view. I'm having trouble finding where I'm at on the board with the microscope. So basically, for this trace I'm trying to repair here, there's a via, and I'm just trying to clear it so that I can run the wire down through it. And I first tried this pad here, but I think that's a pad. I think that's the via that I want to clear. Whichever via it is, it's got oxidized solder because when I touch that part of the board on the top side, it smells like fish. I just wanted to make sure I get the bodge good. I want to run the bodge wire down through the via and then over to the chip lead where it goes. All right. Well, maybe maybe this is overkill. Also, one way to make sure that the bodge is more secure. There we go. I think I cleared the via. Yes. So now I can take my piece of enameled wire and I can pass it down through the via. In question. All right, like so. And I'll go back to the magnified view. There we go. There's the via, the enameled wire. I'm going to apply some flux. Flux here, and flux on the... Basically, I'm just going to try to run my bodge alongside the original trace. All right. Hopefully that burned off the... looking for my piece of... Oh, here we go. Oh, got 11 viewers and... Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Time for the 11 o'clock stretch. Time of the stream when the chat slows down, because, well, I don't blame you. I start to get tired after 11 o'clock, too. And if you're still out there, don't forget to smash that like button. And subscribe and turn on notifications, because I am going to get my 2CI running somehow. Maybe it's this board. Maybe it's another board. And even though my domain anniversary this year is not a prime number, which just means it's not quite as geeky of a domain anniversary as it could be. I mean, it will be the 25th anniversary of my domain registration this year, and I guess to some people that's also an important milestone. It's just not a geeky one. So maybe in time for my first domain's 25th anniversary, maybe, just maybe, I will be able to get my 2CI back up and running. You're probably wondering, well, what do the two have to do with each other? Well, I registered my first domain name on a Macintosh 2CI, so that's the relationship. Oh, Adam fixed his joystick. Yay! Because a broken joystick is a bad stick, I guess. No one likes to play games with a sad stick. Oh, okay. Still trying to See if that did anything to fix that trace. Looks like I might have to add a little more solder to that. Great. Let's try that now. There we go. That trace is fixed. Let me double check that I've got a good connection on the bottom of the board with the via. Where's the wire coming out? There it is. Oh yeah, actually that's good. Yep, I got solder there. Okay. There we go. That is one repair down. Just make sure I got continuity still. Okay, not the prettiest repair, but working is what we're going for. Okay, so I guess the other thing I needed to do was this trace here was looking a bit thin. So I guess I'm going to see if I can't pin that trace. And see if I can do that without... Okay, that looks good. All right, let me clean that up because I need to put some UV solder mask there. Especially because under that one area, the tantalum runs awfully close to that trace. All right. Ah, oh, cool, Adam. That'll be cool to get that Magnavox monitor running. Hopefully, it'll work for you. All right. the Commodore monitors were quite popular. Okay, so I am going to put a little bit of UV solder mask down on the board to protect these. Oh, hey, Sloopy. All right. I have repaired a broken trace and reinforced a weak or a thin trace. Now, due to the close proximity of the tantalum caps, okay. And now, because I know I put too much on, I'll get some of the other areas I scuffed away afterwards, but since I've got to put tantalums on the board there, the way their pads are designed, that if I don't put the solder mask there now, I run the risk of shorting. All right, so I'm going to use my wonderful. This was definitely not a nail curing station UV mask curing thing that has the not not a sponsor of this live stream sticker on it. But should they want to sponsor my live streams, I guess I'm ready because, well, I had to put something there to cover the otherwise plain appearance. Although, if I really wanted to, for this live stream, maybe to thank the donor of this board, I could set the Garth stickers out. Or Jeremy says, computer arch. or or as I saw on Facebook, it was a comic of it was a mashup of a couple different scenes from Star Trek: The Next Generation. But you see, I guess it's from the episode where Beverly flies into the sun, and she's like, "Computer, monitor the external hull temperature and let me know if it gets too hot." And the computer replies back, "Please define hot." And she says, "Oh, I don't know, about what 33, I don't know, 3 million Kelvin or 30,000 Kelvin. I don't know what temperature she gives." Anyways, then the next frame of the comic is you see Picard at the replicator and he says, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot." And then the next frame is him like the replicator and everything around just catching on fire. Because apparently the computer equated hot to Beverly's request. Which I was like, yeah. um, yeah, I guess it's probably good that the computer did not remember what the hot temperature was from one scene to the next. Yeah, 1.9. Oh yeah, I got plenty of stickers. In fact, I got Probably the cool one that I don't know what to put it on other than probably whenever I manage to get an Apple II Plus with a horrible case badge. Well, I already have an Apple II Plus case badge. Actually, last time I ordered something from Mac Effects, I almost put one of those on the order just because they're cool. Yeah, I've got a box of stickers because I haven't bothered to put them on my toolbox yet. I was going to put them on the back of my toolbox. But then I've thought, well, maybe I need a bigger toolbox because I hardly have room for everything I'd like to put in it. So I haven't put the stickers on my toolbox, thinking I might buy a bigger one. Yeah, 1.9 million Kelvin. Yeah. Which, quite honestly, I'm impressed that Starfleet has hull materials that can survive 1.9 million Kelvin. But, well, it is Star Trek, and whatever the plot needs, the plot gets. There we go. That's better. I don't know what I did with the bottom of this thing that has a mirror on it, so I could basically reflect the UV light back in. It's 11:13 now. Wow, it's going to be a challenge to get caps in this and try to power it up before midnight. What would a Justin D. Morgan live stream be without a unreasonable challenge? Oh, hi Thomas. I'm curing UV cure solder mask. Oh, I guess though. What's on the bitch? It's a Macintosh Iici logic board, and I am UV curing the solder mask that is under the some tantalum capacitors. Because if I don't do that, then I definitely will short things that I don't want to short. So it's the board Garth sent me, so I honestly don't know if it's going to work. But I got to put caps on it before I'm going to be able to test it because I don't think one of these boards will power up with absolutely zero capacitors. I mean, maybe I can skip the audio circuit. That will at least accelerate to when I can get to testing. But I think I am going to at least have to get the ones over in the startup circuit and power. All right. Let's see here. While I'm waiting for this to cure, I am oh, there we go. Send. Um, two. There we go. Oh, oh yeah, that would have. All right. Gutbomb, I just sent you money for the shipping. Oh, while I was thinking of it. Where if you remember, I guess it was it Trina stream where Gutbomb was going through things, kind of clearing out some spare parts. So the deal was for the cost of shipping, I could have some parts. So thank you, Gutbomb, for the good deal on some parts I can use. Anyways, you should have PayPal money hopefully right now. I like doing things before I forget. Also, speaking of PayPal, I did so if you saw my last stream and I said I was wanting to get the RF or not the RF module, the wanting to get the composite mod from AC's 8-bit zone. He's a YouTuber. He's got a composite mod that fits. It takes the place of the RF modulator in the Coco 2. It uses the existing holes for the audio and video out. Plus, it's got a switch so you can actually go mono or color. So if you're doing something that's in black and white, you can switch it to mono and it'll kill the color burst. So I remembered to send him money, and actually he was ironically enough, when I sent him the money, I get a reply back. I was like, "Oh, I was actually just working on making some of these." So hopefully soon I will have one of those and I can install it in the Coco 2. And then I can actually put it completely back together. So that will be fun. So I did go with just the composite mod because I didn't want to drill holes in the case. Because all the HDMI mods require drilling holes. Maybe someone will make like an RGB to HDMI interposer that can mount in a way that you could maybe not have to drill holes. Maybe pass the ribbon cable through the slot in the case. That would be cool. But I don't know how amenable the video chip in the Coco 2 is to doing something like that. So I did remember to do that though, because I would like to like put it back together. Um, let's check the solder mask. I don't know how long it's been. Oh, drilling holes is fun. Drilling holes also is not makes it not original. If I had more than one Coco 2, then maybe I would be willing to drill holes in one. Or if I had a Coco 2 that had a damaged case, then maybe I'd be willing to drill holes in it. Okay, it's not quite cured. It's close. But unlike some other things where I could leave it and it would finish, well, this solder mask does require the UV to cure. So it's not like, I don't think it'll, well, I won't say that it won't cure without UV, but it's probably really, really slow. Like, probably extremely slow. Also, it is dark outside, so I can't, like, set it out in the sun. So hopefully, if I give this another 10 minutes, then it's not going to give me much time to put caps on the board. But maybe I can figure out a number of caps to put on the board that will give it enough to at least see if we get a chime. Oh, but to get a chime, I'll have to put the audio caps on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 surface mount and 4 through hole. Yeah, so I guess if I ever get another Coco, especially if it's got a trashed case, then maybe I'll put an HDMI mod in it. I suspect if I ever get a Coco 3, it will probably have, like, cosmetic flaws like that, because the ones that are in nice condition go for a lot of money. Because everyone wants a Coco 3, because it can have all the RAM. But I bet my Coco 2 can be just as enjoyable. Because let's face it, it's not like I'm going to be running productivity software on it. I have enough old PCs that I could run productivity software on. And I mean, I have been tempted to, like, put WordStar on a CPM machine. That could be pretty cool. And going somewhere and just typing on a old computer. Go somewhere and type text on an old computer to write a blog post, and then, well, save it and put it on a modern computer to format it. But yeah, there's lots of room to pass a flex cable out the cartridge slot area, but the other thing is I want to make sure that it's not obstructing using the cartridge, because I do have my Coco SDC. I was thinking of maybe you could run a flex cable out one of the vent holes, but for this Coco, I'll just put a composite mod in it and be happy. Because the case is in pretty good shape, and I think the composite mod will give me good enough video. So, I got enough other projects. Ah, Thomas has an S100 CPM machine. Well, I have a K Pro. A K Pro could be pretty neat to take somewhere. Oh, hey, Jack 68K. I mean, after all, the K Pro, if you bang it up against a door frame or something to taking it somewhere, well, the door frame's probably going to take the brunt of the damage. They don't build them like they used to. Oh, I actually the one thing I have for my K Pro whenever I get back to it, I have two GoTech boards for it. So I got some just bare GoTech boards. So I've got the 3D prints to fit the K Pro, and now I have the GoTech boards, and I have the displays. I think the only thing I need to get are rotary switches. And I got to figure out what rotary switch the 3D print was designed to fit. I don't know. Um, it seems like ZX Spectrums go. Um, yeah, I'll consider a ZX Spectrum, but it seems like more fun making it. It kind of has the lock on ZX Spectrums. I mean, I'll look into one someday. My experience though with my ZX80 clone kind of has me underwhelmed. Although I kind of need to get back to that to try to get it fully working. But unfortunately, my ZX80 clone, its problem is the keyboard is garbage. And unfortunately, the way the keyboard is on the ZX80, it's not really well. It's not a separate part, so I can't just attach a keyboard. It's like the the membrane. It's like membrane keyboard's probably the wrong term. So the keyboard is on the main PCB with all the other components, and it's a foil, vinyl topped foil that had an insulator in the middle that was adhered down to the PCB, and that was the keyboard. And unfortunately, the keyboard had started to come up, so the adhesive's gone on it. I think the insulator might need to be replaced, or the spacer, but I think some of the traces for the keys are broken because I think the adhesive, through the magic of attic heat and adhesive breakdown, I think it broke some of the traces. That, and not only that, but there's also still something wrong with it that I don't think it's I don't think it's actually booting all the way to the prompt where you can actually do anything. So, I don't know. I've got some SRAMs, I may try to fix it, but then I realized those SRAMs are the same ones that the Commodore 64 uses for color RAM, and now I'm like, do I really want to put those in my ZX80 because those are enough SRAMs to fix two Commodore 64s with color RAM problems. So, try this kit. Oh, actually, I don't know if you're. Oh, is that a suggestion for me? The Cosmac 1802. Ooh, it's got a 7-segment display. It has blinking lights. It has toggle switches. It fits in a Altoids tin. Okay, that looks cool. Even if that wasn't for me, I might have to look into that. Yeah, but yeah, I'll look into maybe a ZX Spectrum at some point. I'm kind of fearing what they go for these days because it seems like the ZX Spectrum is the one everyone wants. Although maybe if I search for ZX Spectrum and not ZX Spectrum, maybe I'll find something. Oh boy, I just searched eBay while I. Oh, maybe I need to check my solder mask. Okay, those go for a pretty penny. Ooh, I can get a red Soviet ZX Spectrum clone for only $600. No, thank you. Well, at least they have a separate keyboard. Dust covers and... Wow. Unfortunately, I don't see any ZX Spectrums that are in Justin grade on eBay right now. Of course, maybe it's because I gotta go through a couple more pages. Nope, that one's not Justin grade. Oh, nope, that's not Justin grade. You're probably wondering, what's Justin grade? Cheap price. Cheap price and Robic. They seem to be cheaper. Okay, I'll take a look for that. Let's check the solder mask here. All right, so how am I checking the solder mask? Well, I'm taking a foam swab and I'm looking to see if I see any signs that I transferred UV solder mask. Oh, it looks like it's cured now. All right. All right. Well, let me search for the term that Jeremy suggested, because if I don't, then I'll have to go back through the... Oh, the Robic Soviet clone ZX Spectrums. Well, I don't know that I want a Soviet clone, because then I'd be afraid I'd have trouble repairing it, because it might use chips that are hard to get a hold of. Plus, I think some of the ZX Spectrums were cheaper because they don't cost $50 in shipping. Woo! Okay. I will definitely look into a ZX Spectrum. Jeremy says they can be far more interesting. Thomas says there was a ZX80 for $5 at the swap meet here last week. Oh, Jack just noticed it. I got a 2CI. Yes. All right. Well, let me make sure that I just that I didn't like dislodge anything in the process of putting solder mask on. So I've got a mod, or got a bodge wire here. Okay, so we still have continuity there. And let's see here. This trace. Should be... Oh. Oh, that's weird. Oh, please, while I Oh. Oh, that trace doesn't go where I thought it did. Okay, there's where that trace is. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. There might be another trace break here that I didn't see first. Ah, the Soviet PC clones are fun, like the PET and IBM. Well, actually, there's a computer that's actually not... Oh, interesting enough, might not really be on my list. The PET. Not really... Okay, so I think the trace I'm interested in that I did put some solder on top of. There we go. Okay, so I see the 2 points where I can test it. Basically, I was trying to identify the trace. So here's one side. I'll put solder mask on this later. And it actually goes to here. There we go. Yep, we have a connection. So I didn't displace anything. All right. Yes, there's no time like the present to start recapping this board, although unfortunately, I'm probably not going to. It's 11:37. I'm probably not going to be able to test this tonight. Because I think. Let me make sure I can see all the caps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. I sure thought that kit had. Oh wait. Oh wait. Is the 2CI? Okay. There's 11 surface mount caps in the kit. But when I'm buying 2CI cap kits for an unseen board, and to note, this is actually I ordered it from I ordered this kit for a different board, and ended up not using it on that board because that board had major problems. Anyways, I think the 2CI has. There's some versions of the board that have extra capacitors. Yes. Yep. Okay. Yep. They shipped this with enough capacitors to do any revision board. So let me go to the let me go to a recapping guide. See here, because I Garth removed the capacitors, so I definitely need to pull up a recapping guide because I was not the one that removed the caps. So I cannot go by memory of what used to be there. Okay, so there should be one here. So this is going to be a 47 microfarad, 16 volt. Here's one. Yep, and that's going to be a 47, 16. And then 3 more 47, 16s up here in the sound area. And then we have a 47 by the power switch. And then we have a 10 here. And then we have 47, a 10, and a 47. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 surface mount. And then we have the through hole ones. All right. I guess probably the best thing to do would be to probably start with the surface mount ones. And I think the best thing to do for that front, and I cannot see the chat, is let me get the two 10 microfarad ones first. And then I'll get the 47s. And then I'll get the through hole ones. But I'm already probably going to say there's probably not. I will probably have to stop in the middle of this. So because it's 22. It didn't help that I had a little goof at the beginning of the live stream where I saw a video in YouTube Studio. It was the video that OBS was sending YouTube. I didn't realize that I hadn't clicked go live in OBS, so therefore I was not actually live. So I was basically talking to myself. In hindsight, absolutely hilarious and embarrassing. Okay, so these two 47 or 10 microfarad tantalum capacitors are, well, they're tiny. Let me find a pair of tweezers. That's the only way I'm gonna get these on. All right, I think I can manage to get these on without staring at the recapping guide because there's only because I put flux on the board, so now I can use that as my cheat sheet. All right. So tantalum caps, stripe is to the positive. So here's the first one. Okay. Oh, hey, Strider. Good evening. Yep, I am on a, well, I'm going to get as far as I can before I have to end the stream on this board. Fortunately, given the fact that there's, well, I'm only getting the first cap on now. I don't know how many caps are needed to actually get the board to power up. I could probably get the board to power up with some missing, but I think it's probably a safe bet that I've got too many missing. Oh, almost time to say good morning. Yeah, here it's like 10 till or quarter till midnight. And probably right on cue, well, there. I was about to say I spilled most of the isopropyl alcohol I'd poured out for board cleaning onto the bench, and then I just managed to knock the container over again. So, update, I spilled all of it on the workbench. All right. So I did put, so the way I do my surface my caps, I put flux down. I use tweezers to hold down one side. Or I use tweezers to hold it, get one side, and then I'll usually just go back and make sure that it's nice and flush. And as long as I get the caps like close to straight, I'm kind of happy. Especially on boards that have trace damages that's repaired. All right, there we go. I think I got the two surface mount caps on, or those two on. All right, so let me get see if I can get the 47s in rapid succession. They are a bit easier to deal with since they're a bit bigger. And all right. I mean, if I can get these on without making might be able to get this to the point where I've got everything on, but I don't think I'm going to. Don't think I'm going to be able to test this because the power supply that I need to use is not. It's actually in a Mac. Oops. Okay. I have a spare power supply that would work on a 2CI board, but it needs recapped. All right. I am a bit concerned about that cap where it moved on me, so let me just double check that it's not shorted. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Just making sure I didn't that it didn't move far enough that I bridged solder. Oh yeah, I think it is an early board with the EE proms. Actually, maybe those are EPROMs. 27C010. Actually, I think those are I think they're EPROMs. I think the stickers are covering the window, but yeah, I guess this is an early board. Well, maybe I can hoping I can get it up and running. It came from the free pile at VCF Midwest by way of Garth. So I guess all that Garth knew, so it's all I know, is that it was on the free pile. Garth removed the capacitors, saw some trace damage, decided that he already had enough 2CIs that he didn't need to undertake the fun of repairing trace damage, and probably remembered that I have yet to get a 2CI board working for my 2CI, and so he offered it to me. So here I am. And luckily, because of the last 2CI board I attempted and gave up on, I had a cap kit on hand. So I have at least repaired what appeared to be the visibly damaged traces. But in order to test... Whoop. I can't put that cap on because I just realized I need to put some UV solder mask on the board there. So, anyways, I will yeah, definitely won't be able to test this tonight because I'm going to have to UV cure solder mask. I didn't realize there was a trace here too close to the pad that I got with the Dremel. So I will have to... Well, let me see if I can get the rest of the caps on. I'll have to... I thought I could wait until I had tested the board, but I'll have to fix that first before I can put that cap on. So, alright, I guess I might as well get the rest of these. Let me double check the recapping guide. So I've got one by the power switch, and I got one on the power up circuit. So there's 4 above the new bus slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 below the new bus slot. Okay. I guess where I will end the stream is I'll get the remainder of the surface mount caps on, and I'll get some UV cure solder mask on that area of the board that I thought I could wait for, and then, well, I'll just let that... I'll let it run overnight. I mean, it won't run all night, so don't worry. It's not like I'm going to be bombarding this board with UV all night. It'll like kick off in like 20 or 30 minutes. Famous last words. I'll walk down here tomorrow and it'll like still be my 2CI will have a sunburn because it'll have decided to have not shut off overnight. Oh, I'll get the through hole caps too. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get the through hole caps. Because the best way to not misplace the caps is to go ahead and put them on the board. Yep. Alright, so 3 more surface mounts that I can put on tonight. I guess I can zoom in just a little bit. Right. And I'm sure some people might be wondering that are watching this, does replacing the capacitors in the audio section with tantalum capacitors affect the sound? The answer is yes. I'm sure it does affect the sound, but I don't know that it's going to affect the sound noticeably. I'm sure if you took like captured audio from it and put it through a wave meter and all sorts of fancy schmancy audio analysis software, yeah, you'll probably find a difference, but these won't leak. Any replacement electrolytics would eventually leak too, so I mean, yes, I'm sure it's going to affect the sound quality a little bit. I doubt it's going to be anything I'm going to notice. I mean, I've replaced LCD boards. I've put all tantalums on them with cap kits from Console 5. Oops. And I haven't noted. I mean, I'm sure that affected their sound quality too. Have I noticed it? Can I tell there's a difference? Not really. No, I don't think my ears are sensitive enough to tell. Um, it's not like the LC series was built for incredible audio. In fact, I'm not really even sure the 2CI was built for incredible audio. So I don't think I'll be able to tell. Now, I'm sure if I had like a fancy high end sound card, then yeah, I'd put electrolytic caps back on it because that might be where you might actually would notice a difference because it was actually designed for sound and designed for maybe a low noise floor, things like that. But for this integrated sound, I don't think I'll ever notice. Video quality, probably not. I mean, I guess it could affect video quality, but well, actually, no. Actually, I'll take that back. I don't think it will affect video quality because I don't think any of these capacitors are in the video circuit. It looks like in the video circuit, Apple may have already used tantalum caps on the board. So the putting these caps, I don't think will affect the video quality. I mean, for other boards that maybe had electrolytic caps near the video section, could it affect video quality? Maybe. Could it affect video quality that you might be able to notice if you really used analysis software? Maybe. But I would probably think that if there was going to be an area where you might could notice a change in the quality, it'd probably be more likely it'd be the sound than the video. Because I think a lot of the Macs already used like tantalums in the video, so you're probably not going to be changing the type of cap. I mean, could be wrong. I'm just kind of guessing there. Oh, Jack68K says, yeah, I've heard about the sound quality too. I've recapped some of my 2CIs with aluminum polymer caps and two with tantalums. I don't think there's any difference. What's weird though is one of my 2CIs has a noticeably softer startup chime than the others. Only the startup chime though. Interesting. That is interesting. Anyways, all right. So I got the surface mount on everything but this one that I need to solder mask on first. I did notice there is a bit of green between the two legs of this chip here. I actually may end up having to remove this. I think it's a resistor pack at some point. But let me get these through hole caps so that I can then get solder mask on this and then wrap the stream up. So let's see. According to the kit, the instructions, I have 3 470 microfarad and 1 220. Although, let me double check here real quick while I'm thinking of it. Polarity, so positive on the tantalums, positive. Yep, positive. Let's see here. So all the positives should be down towards the. Oh, I missed a cap. That's the other good reason to check. I missed one right here, which I would have probably noticed when I went to go put the cap in that position. Luckily, I noticed it a little bit before. All right. Actually, my brain was actually telling me, wait, you should only have 2 of these. Thinking I should only have 2 of them left over. There we go. And here. All right. Actually, let me go ahead and, while I'm over in this area of the board, go ahead and get this cap in. So for these caps like this, I like to put them in so that if I'm looking at the board, I guess in the event that like down the road I'm recapping it again, that I can actually read the value on the cap. If I'm ever having trouble and I'm questioning that I put the right cap in, it's easy to see the value. I've got some solder in the via. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to use the soldering needle here. Oh, that's why I'm having trouble. Okay. That is a ground plane. All right. Let me try solder braid. All right, I need to clear the via out. I can't get the lead, capacitor lead through because I didn't get enough of the old solder out. I may need to add solder. Let me see if flux alone is enough to. Let me try from the underside as well. And add flux. And add solder. And adding solder kind of helps get the composition of whatever solder is in that via back to like normal in case it's oxidized. And Well, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to reheat the board or something. Or come back to this capacitor later. Alright. Oh, I'm having trouble keeping it on the screen. Alright. Alright. Alright, I'm going to try something. It may seem weird. I was having trouble getting it out. Nope, that didn't work. Yes, sometimes if you drop the board, it can cause the solder to fall out. But actually, there's one other thing I could do, maybe. All right, let's see here. Sorry, I can't see the chat. Oh, I did just see the time. All right. Oh, this might be the capacitor that stumps me for the evening. All right. All right. I'm trying some low melt solder. If that doesn't work, I will try raising the temperature of my soldering iron just a bit. I may have to do that. Just because of the size of this ground plane. All right. Oh, I might have cleared it. All right. Will the capacitor go in the via now? No. Oh, is the problem now the fact that there is adhesive on the bottom of that leg. Nope. Hmm. Why is it not? Yeah, I think this is just one of those stubborn holes. All right. All right. Hey, Will Jr. 880. All right, I'm having trouble clearing a via, so I'm preheating the back of the board. It is on a ground plane, so I'm thinking that maybe I'm having trouble getting heat into the area. And I'm going to apply some fresh solder. Solder flux. All right. Hopefully that, hoping that board got the board warm enough. So now maybe. How's that WRX fund coming along? Uh, I think my WRX fund has like $5 in it. Or whatever. I think I only had, yeah. At the rate my WRX fund is going, I'll have a WRX well, at this rate, I'll have a WRX in time to drive it for 5 minutes and then have to turn my driver's license in for being too old. Hopefully my new streaming computer fund will go just a bit quicker, because I don't know how many more streams this computer is going to last before it really starts to show its age and failures. I mean, I know some people that have EVs, but I don't. I guess I got a garage and could install a charger, and some of them are neat. I think I'd rather have a WRX than an EV. Wow, I do not know why. Oh, that doesn't help when you bend your soldering needle. There we go. Ha! I think I finally got the via clear. I realized I was having trouble getting the soldering needle through. Then I realized, well, wait a minute. I got low melt solder right beside me. Maybe I should try putting some of that in the via, because this via's going through a huge ground plane, and then maybe that will be what I need to actually get the needle to go through, because I think my iron can probably get the via hot enough with low melt solder in it. Yeah, that via looks really nice now. I think this is probably going to be the, well, hopefully. Right? And there we go. Yeah, all right. I'll try to put that capacitor about centered in the silk screen, and I'm going to apply plenty of flux. And there we go. Did I? Yep. Okay, it's soldered. All right. Well, there's that cap. That took long enough. All right. All right. So, I guess because it's getting late, let me put the last of these caps back in the bag for the recapping kit so that I don't lose them. And let me get the flux off the board where I need to put solder mask on it here real quick. Well, real quick, caveat is I knocked my isopropyl alcohol over and then pushed the bottle off the back of my workbench somehow, so I left in the bottle. That's a no. Oh, don't worry, I have plenty. All right. Yes, I got the Amazon Basics 99% isopropyl alcohol. The nice thing about it is it comes in a 12-pack. Well, and it was subscribe and save eligible, so by being willing to wait for the one day a month when I get subscribe and save deliveries, I think it was like 10% off, so. All right. Oh. Oh. Anyways, let me just want to clean the flux off the board in this area so I get a good coat with the UV Cure solder mask. I will put the solder mask on, and then that will be the stream for tonight. Although I do kind of want to see if I can get the green. I mean, I will before the next time I work on this board, I will put it through the ultrasonic cleaner. Probably because I'll put these last components on off stream after the solder mask is cured, just so I can put this through the ultrasonic cleaner. But don't worry, testing will wait for a stream. I got enough other stuff to do. I don't think there's probably much chance I'd test it before stream anyways, so while I might put these 4 caps on, probably I'll put them on. Yeah, I'll put them on off stream tomorrow so I can then put it through the ultrasonic cleaner, but who knows, maybe Tuesday I might pick up on this board. That way, at least when I start to test it, it will have the benefit of no electrolytic juice remaining on the board, and all these green meanies between chips will hopefully be gone. All right. Let me. I guess I will go down to a magnified view so that maybe I can do a better job the first time of applying the solder mask. I need to get that close. Yep. Okay, well, it does look like maybe I didn't get quite as close as I thought I did to the pad there, but, well, let's just say that that's an area where I'd rather be sure because that could be difficult to fix later. All right. Oh. All right. I'll go ahead and dab on the solder mask in this area and get those traces there too. And just here beside this pad. I guess I can go ahead and anywhere else that. I'm just looking to see if there's anywhere else where I exposed copper, because I'm going to go ahead and solder mask it. All right. And I guess for those of you that didn't see me, the tracer pairs, so that was a broken trace there. I got a little wire under that UV cure solder mask. Whoop, I guess it looks like I did expose some copper there. Dab that on. I got it. But then this trace running under this capacitor here, it was thin. So it wasn't broken, but it was thin. So I put some solder on it to reinforce it. All right. So I think with that, that is a good place to go ahead and start curing the solder mask. Oh, I just realized that I plugged my UV curing station into an outlet that automatically turns off at a certain point of the night. And I set it up that way so that if there's anything that I accidentally leave on my workbench, that at, I believe it's 2 o'clock is the magic time, the outlet will turn off, and so would whatever I accidentally left on. So that means if my UV curing station decides that it wants to stay on, because it's on continuous mode, but I think that really means 30 minutes. It won't run all night, so I don't have to worry about that. So anyways, it is well, definitely time to end the stream, but at least the solder mask, Will Junior, it's 12:30 a.m. So yeah, hi from the past. So, oh hey, 1-Bit Fever Dreams, you joined just in time to hear me end the stream, because it is very late. Anyways, so got some trace damage fixed on the 2CI board that Garth sent me. I've got most of the caps on. I got to let the solder mask cure to oh hey Bruce, it's not fixed yet. So I didn't realize that I had a trace too close to a tantalum cap. So I can't put the tantalum cap on until I UV cure solder mask it. And given how late it is, I'm just going to let it cure overnight. I'll get those caps on sometime over the weekend. And I think Tuesday we'll pick back up with this 2CI board. I will go ahead and put those caps on so I can just go ahead and put this through the ultrasonic cleaner and then dry it out real good. I mean, it'll have all weekend to dry out. And then I think Tuesday we'll pick back up on it and we will see, will it boot? I know that doesn't rhyme with mend, but yeah, will it mend? Well, it's mending. We'll see if it mended. So, will it mend? Part 2, Tuesday. And then maybe Thursday will be the SGI Octane. We'll see if I can get my guest lined up. And then the following week, I'm on vacation, but then I'll pick back up with my normal streaming schedule October 31st, which is a Tuesday. So, anyways, so that is what's coming up. I would like to see a working 2CI. This will be the third one I've tried to get working, so I don't have any wood to knock on, but knock on wood if I had some wood on my workbench. If I had wood on my workbench, I'd have probably already caught it on fire several times. We will get this working. So with that, have a great rest of your day. I hope to see you next time. Take care, and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.